And here we are again. It's me. So Nicole just had this really great interview with Alcatel, and I hope you guys been enjoying it. But also the hands-on videos that we are trying to squeeze in there. You know what? Actually, see, I have to comb my hair a little bit underneath my head. Kind of weird. Now we're back, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Intel. I'm very, very happy to have Christian Morales over here as a corporate vice president of a general manager, Intel EMEA. Christian, great to see you again, right?
Guten Morgen.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we need to.
Now.
Yeah, yeah. We need to use the microphone. So it's day one of IFA. You've already had your day one 2 days ago was your press conference.
Yes, we had a great launch here on Wednesday morning. Very excited. We had the journalist here in the on the booth. We had also live streaming around the world. The demos went great. It was a lot of new demos. I particularly like the one with the twins, where one was allowed to log in, the other one was not allowed to log in. And the system worked well, so it was very exciting. We also showed great graphics demos, games, and so on and so forth. It was really a very good launch of the 6th generation core.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you were kind of launching it over 4 weeks, right? I think the first launches were happening at Gamescom at the beginning of August. Then we had IDF kicking in, right, with an amazing, and we need to talk about this a little bit later. And now for the 1st of September on the West Coast, 2nd of September, 6 in the morning over here, Central European time, you went all live with the whole portfolio of Skylake. We actually had the godmother of Skylake in here just 2 hours ago, Shmuel Weiss. And I mean, it must be a huge relief for you now to have this product in the market, to have the most scalable silicon that you ever released.
Well, you know, we launched the first microprocessor in the early 70s. It was 23,000 transistors. Now we have the high-end server architecture, which is about 8 billion transistors. This one here is a couple of billions. 6th generation core to go into those kind of devices, two-in-ones, thin and light notebooks, all-in-ones, you know, gaming machines, all kind of applications and different formats of devices. Several years of work, 14 nanometers, best ever processor introduced for those kinds of devices, and it really brings enormous improvements on performance, on battery life, energy efficiency, on graphics, on security. So it's really a major breakthrough and a once in a decade a kind of launch of a product. It's really a combination of architecture, technology, and experiences.
Yeah, you've been really working hard on this. Which Mo told us how many years she and her team was just developing the silicon before it went into the quality management, into all the stress tests, before it finally came to the market or comes to the market right now. Lots of OEMs, lots of partner companies here from Intel showcasing their latest platform. But I would love to talk to you about something that just happened 2 weeks ago, and which in my opinion it sounds kind of weird when I'm saying the new Intel, right? That would kind of mean that there was also an old. I mean, things are evolving and developing, but I think this year's IDF was a little bit of a statement in terms of, yes, you just mentioned it. You're building silicon and chips for way over 40 years. And but it's something different right now. Like all those years before, it was just, okay, there's a new core generation, or okay, there was one huge switch from Core 2 to then the Core I's. But this year was kind of different. This year was all about, look, this is the technology we're going to give you, and now we want to see what you can do with it.
Yeah, the theme of IDF was really what you can do with all of this technology, how you can keep on transforming the experiences, how can you keep on bringing new devices to the marketplace, get more dreams out there, get better experiences, get to keep on transforming all the aspects of the economy, be it on devices, be it on infrastructure, be it on internet, Internet of Things, wearables. And we have this mission at Intel that if it computes, it's got to compute best on Intel. So all the segments, all the audiences we address with our architectures, we want to make sure that it is the absolute best experience and that it is connected, that it is a smart device, and from the very, very smallest device to the most complex high-performance computing, mission-critical solution, we want to make sure that we bring those experiences. And here with the 6th generation core, it's really been a huge breakthrough. And as you mentioned, we had all of the OEMs doing launches around it.
Yeah.
And when I look at all the devices that are available now, it's absolutely amazing. And I'm just looking forward to acquire the next one to enjoy this experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I just can't wait to get my new notebook with it, right? Especially after I've had a chance to play around with it, and to also see how Skylake is becoming a little bit of like emerging platform for technology that you've already introduced into the market before. For example, what you started with your perceptual computing initiative, which led us to the WheelSense technology. And now we can finally see WheelSense in laptops, in all-in-ones, and now even in smartphones. I think what you've shown with the Project Tango smartphone to do real-time 3D mapping with the WheelSense camera, that blew my mind. Because this was exactly what I was thinking of when I really got introduced for the very first time into 3D printing, right? And it's been around for a while before it really became mainstream. I constantly thought, the future smartphone needs to have a 3D camera. So when I'm sitting in a restaurant and I'm enjoying a nice glass of wine and I really love the shape of the wine glass, so I can take a picture of it and can print it out. And you know what? Actually, now it is possible, right? And with the WheelSense technology, that was...
Yeah, it's been several years now, particularly here in Europe. We have been investing in projects. We have been investing in companies with new technologies, perceptual computing, new generation cameras were absolutely a focus for us because it was part of the experience we wanted to bring to the users. And you mentioned it with RealSense, you can do incredible things with it.
Yeah.
You can put them in drones, you can have very autonomous navigating drones across a forest or whatever. Yeah. You can do, there is a lot of applications we can now develop thanks to those technologies that we will not have been able to do before. A lot of people who want to have access to the internet, who want to be able to use those devices, be it notebooks, be it all-in-ones, tablets. And now with those immersive technologies, perceptual computing, new interfaces with the devices, which is not only the keyboard, which is not only the mouse, more people will also have access to those technologies and have a more natural interface with the devices.
Yeah.
So this is just, I would say it's a major breakthrough as in terms of new technologies, new architectures, new experiences, but it's also almost the beginning of a journey. We're going to see so much more coming up.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see that you kind of created this playground for companies and developers. I think IDF sometimes even felt a little bit like a maker's fair, in a very, very positive way. There was a creative atmosphere. Your software group had a nice little corner where they were doing live coding, right, of some of the coders that I know for years that are working on developer challenges, right, and other developers stopped by, they were exchanging ideas about, how they created this workaround, how they're developing close to your hardware, to your latest technology. That was just, it was almost like a little bit of a happening. At IDF, and that was sort of. And by the way, really, really cool keynotes. I think BK nailed it. The opening keynote, but also the keynote from Genevieve was absolutely fantastic, because she really told a story about how she got involved into technology, and she was talking a lot about people that inspired her, visionaries, in technology. She was talking about Madame Curie, and I mean, you're using a silicon right now with that name.
We are so proud to be using this name.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That is really cool. She was talking about Edison and Ford. It gives people this bigger picture of what is really happening. It's not only about this next generation chip that is, of course, has better TDP or performance per watt, and overall it's more efficient. But it's about what you're going to do with it, and to give people those possibilities. And I think right now you're communicating it for the very first time on that level.
Well, definitely, the way innovation is taking place in the world, the way research is taking place, creativity has changed in the last decades. I remember the times where there were large research and development centers in the world, to then the evolution where there were distributed research centers in the world. People instead, companies, instead of trying to attract more researchers and engineers to large places, they will go where the researchers are and where the expertise is located. And now with those makers, it's yet another evolution of more and more designers that sit around the world, that collaborate with people across the world, and they are even not in a company. They are young people or more experienced people. I think at IDF we had a breadth of very young millennials to very experienced researchers and designers and engineers. And we're going to be doing the Maker Faire in the next couple of weeks in Rome, for example, where and you mentioned Curie, you mentioned Edison.
There will also be some announcement, I would guess.
We want to bring those and we want to bring those solutions to all those people who want to be able to develop applications that are close to their minds, close to their hearts, and they can bring new experiences to the marketplace, new devices. Yeah. And this morning, it was very exciting because we have launched during Mobile World Congress the Challenge Up, which is about helping entrepreneurs, helping startup and companies into a Europe, Middle East, and Africa contest, where hundreds of companies have been competing, or in a contest, if you wish. And now there are 12 who have reached the semifinals, if you wish. And I was with them this morning, and it's all absolutely incredible ideas, incredible projects, solutions that work already, that have to be scaled. They need help from a technology coaching standpoint, from a financing standpoint eventually, but also they need help to be connected to other places in the world, to matchmake with people who have the same interest as them, and go and scale those solutions and make them available to more people around the world. So it's on Internet of Things, it's on wearables, it's a variety of things that go from the finance environment to the communication environment to the healthcare environment, and so on and so forth, smart homes, smart cities, and so on and so forth.
At the end of Brian's keynote during IDF, you've also had a little bonbon, a little dessert that no one was expecting at this point. Just to give you an idea, guys, there was a famous US producer coming on stage. He's producing lots of reality shows, and so what they announced is basically like the next American Inventors 2.0 version. This is going to be a reality show where they're looking for developers, where they're looking for makers, where they're looking for inventors that are building amazing things together with technology. Intel is the partner of this show, so you're going to provide this technology, and out of a sudden, a developers challenge gets onto a whole new level. It got scaled up into basically onto a Hollywood level, right? Because this is what's going to happen. I thought this was so huge, and this will again inspire so many engineers and also so many kids, right, to get into technology and to develop something else. You guys must be so excited about this.
I think it's important to get the innovators, the inventors, the entrepreneurs, on the spotlight, and really give them the front seat in terms of visibility and in terms of recognition. Yeah. And this has been also a change we have seen in the last years. sports people, people in the music industry, in the film industry were definitely on the spotlight for many, many years. But now we are also seeing the scientists, we are seeing the engineers, we are seeing the young creators, even people who have not done much studies but like to create, like to do, to develop solutions, like to develop devices. And I think that's great. That's a great recognition because it has a very positive impact on our environment. In terms of new devices, in terms of transforming the current economy. So I think that's really great. And last year we had the wearable contest that did run worldwide.
That was huge
Europe,
already.
Middle East and Africa had a tremendous contribution to it. They did win 80% of the awards, basically. Yeah. And the ones who came on top, it was also with European contributing into it. So I think the expertise we have here, the entrepreneurship is really great. And this is a very good improvement from some years ago. And this program we just announced, that Brian announced, I think that's a great one. It's going to bring even more excitement into creativity and into innovation. And we look forward to scaling it even further worldwide.
Yeah, and you know what, guys, you can look it up. If you just search for Intel and inventors, actually the producer is the original, it's actually the creator of this TV show Survivor. This is on TV like for 20 years or 25 years, and now he's taking care of this new show. It's called America's Greatest Makers. So if you Google that, you can still sign up, I think, until the end of October. And I think when you have the possibility to win $1 million US, it's definitely worth it to fill out this form on this website, and it's going to happen, and it will definitely give this whole maker scene a new boost that it really needs, because this is about bringing bright minds together, makers together with technology. And once again, I really like this that throughout the whole IDF, that this was really in the focus. It wasn't such a product-centric IDF. This was about, here are the tools that we want to provide you. Now it's up to you. Now create some incredible stuff with you, and you know what? And let us know about this. We want to support you. I think you really open up a lot over the last 2 or 3 years, and the way you're supporting your developers and the way you're supporting the maker scene. It took a while. It was quite a way, but now it turns into a Hollywood TV show, which will, I think, run on CBS in prime time, and it's going to be the flagship for all of the maker scene in the world.
It's a great encouragement for the entrepreneurs, for the designers. For the creators, and I think that's really great.
So when we look at what's about to happen, 5 years ago, when we looked at your portfolio, right? So yes, we've had already Core. The first Core generation came out. We've had Xeon in the market, and you started 7 years ago with Intel Atom. No, 6 years. 6 is almost. Time is flying. Oh my God. And when I look at your portfolio right now, how many different atoms are available? What you did now with Skylake, what you're doing with platforms like you started it, what you did with Edison, and what you're now doing with Curie. It is just amazing what just happened in such a short time period. Right?
What is exciting is that it runs, any operating system runs best on any of those inter-architectures. Those inter-architectures are intercompatible to each other. We want to make security across all the platforms and the architecture to be as strong as it is possible, so that people really have all the privacy to their data and to their personal content that they want to have. And we want to make those solutions available to as many people as possible, so that they can just go ahead and create solutions and discover and just develop and innovate. And again, from the very smallest device to the very much, to the most complex one where you really need to address big data, analytics, mission critical, very, very complex problems to solve, like on healthcare, for example. We want to be able to provide the best solutions, us with our technology and in partnership with our ecosystems.
Yeah, and once again, for those guys that are watching us right now, you will be able to see the keynote of IDF and the mega sessions. They should be available on the Intel websites and on the YouTube channel. I can only encourage you to watch that, because it's interesting when you're working or when you're following a company that now has a really, really geek by heart as their CEO, right? Who's really trying to push these things and really helping to encourage makers and developers and engineers to also think outside of the box, to create something different. And that's what they're really doing. And I just think we live in an amazing time right now. Everything is happening so fast and it's becoming so disruptive, right? Out of a sudden, someone is inventing something like what you did with the Make It Wearable challenge. When you saw the Nexi drone, like a drone, it was basically like a wristband that turned into a drone and you could launch it from your arm and was flying around. Will it make any sense right now? No, maybe not. But it is a proof of concept what you can do with technology and what is possible and what amazing small little things you're going to do. And you mentioned the autonomous drone using your wheel sense technology. Actually, a company from Germany that was showing this.
Absolutely, they did a great job. Great product, absolutely.
I was filming this and I couldn't believe it. I said, "Oh my God, it's interesting as." When you're growing up as a science fiction lover, right, and you're growing up with Star Trek and all of this, and your parents were already into this, and you're going to these events, and all of a sudden you see the things that 20 or 30 years ago they were showing you in science fiction movies, and all of a sudden they became reality. And I think this is what constantly motivates me to go to these events. Christian, thank you so much for being here. It was an absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for, just really pushing this market and keeping up this momentum and delivering great technology into this. It makes our life much easier, right? Because it keeps us excited.
My pleasure, and we're going to be enjoying a very vibrant IFA here.
Absolutely. So we are still in Hall 16. If you're close to Berlin or somewhere else in Europe, you know what? Berlin is always good for a little vacation over the weekend. Come over here to IFA. It's actually, in terms of visitors, the biggest consumer electronics show in the world. And they have everything. They have traditional IT companies, consumer electronic companies. You can see appliances, connected kitchens, connected homes, and you can even see the huge TV channels and broadcasters that are here showcasing the latest formats. We're going to have a small little break of maybe like 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to talk to Julian Trautmann. He's the head of communication, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland from Airbnb, because I've been actually visiting the Airbnb office in San Francisco just some 10 days ago. So it's going to be quite an interesting talk. We're talking a little bit about the shared economy. So I see you soon.